Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. It's the East Anglian Derby tomorrow, a game which I'm not going to enjoy. So I thought I'd go to the football today to actually enjoy a game, and I have just witnessed Fulham 2, Aston Villa 0. Right at the top of the Championship, second place Villa versus fifth place Fulham. Last time I did one of these, I saw second place Derby versus fifth place Bristol City, and it was 0-0. So I'm pleased to report today that there were some goals. It was a really good game actually. So let me take you through these teams. So Bettinelli in goal for Fulham, Fredericks right full back, and Riemann Callas centre backs. Target is left back now for Fulham, so they now can push Sessegnon forward, and he plays on the left wing. Aite on the right with Johansson and Kearney in between him, and McDonald just behind those. Mitrovic on loan from Newcastle up front. Villa, sort of 4-1-4-1 formation. Johnston in goal. Chester and John Terry were the centre backs. Apologies Villa fans if I get this wrong throughout the video. Tuanzebe the right back. Hutton left back. I thought he was a right back, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Smarten me up if you know better. So Jedinak then kind of a defensive midfielder with Bjarnason and Hurahan ahead of him. El Mohammadi right midfield, Snodgrass left midfield, Hogan up front. Adoma, who was very good against Ipswich when I last saw Villa, he wasn't playing today. Excuse me, sorry, someone doing something in front of my car. So second versus fifth. Fulham started very well. Target shoots just, he takes it with his left foot, shoots just wide, curling away from the keeper. Fredericks to Aite, he stands up the cross. Mitrovic with a free-ish header, which he kind of over-engineers wide. Terry steps out of defence, plays the through ball. Bjarnason dribbles it in, and it kind of just rebounds out for Hogan. He's got one touch to put the shot on goal, takes it right-footed, puts it over. Poor finish that, good chance. Another good chance of Villa here. Good advantage from the ref on 14. Bjarnason kind of dribbles it in. He's a tiptoey type player. Shoots left-footed, just wide. So Fulham with the possession and territory, but Villa with the two good chances in the sort of first 15 minutes. The first quarter goes by and it kind of settles into a bit of a rhythm despite Fulham's kind of good start. Villa are then, I would say, just kind of edging it. They're snuffing Fulham out well, and on chances they're kind of on top, I would say. 32, El Mohammadi chips it down the line, lovely ball. Tuanzebe goes all the way down there. He pulls it back to Hurahan, who puts it over right foot. Looked like he might have had a little tug on Sessegnon in the run up to that chance. So the first half goes by without too much else happening, and tactically Villa are really sort of on top. They're doing a really good job of snuffing out Fulham, who they're kind of attacking like little groups down the side, or those midfielders moving around, Kearney and Johansson. What Villa did right was they had this insurance policy, which was Jedinak, and every time the midfield pressed forward, he was covering in behind them. So when Fulham tried to split their centre-backs and bring their full-backs forward, well, Snodgrass could just drop off down one side and El Mohammadi down the other, and no joy down the sides. And then obviously they weren't overrun in midfield because of Jedinak. So although it was kind of a defensive type ploy from Villa, it did work quite well. They didn't have much up front, like I say, but when they did move forward, they moved forward with purpose with Bjarnason and Hurahan, and got the best of the chances. I thought at half-time, if the pattern stayed the same, I made Villa just slightly favourites. Just before half-time, El Mohammadi went up for a header and went down clutching his back. So he goes out at half-time, Anoma comes in, Snodgrass switches wings, and Anoma goes in down the left-hand side. So Villa's kind of defensive makeup down the sides of the pitch got changed just at half-time, and they were looking very comfortable. So this is probably going to feed into what happens at the start of the second half. Snodgrass free kick, kind of little bounce around in the box. Hogan tries to head it goal, can't do much with it. Immediate counter-attack from Fulham, and for the first time in the game really, Sessegnon gets beyond Tuanzebe. Poor cross from him. On 53, Target crosses in, and Sessegnon's got into the box. His shot kind of hits Terry in the face. But you can see from half-time, immediately these wide players more in the game, and this is going to feed into the first goal, which happens on 54 for Fulham. So it's an attack down the right. Fredericks gets in behind. He crosses it low across the box, and Sessegnon's got in. He's obviously been told at half-time, get forward, get in the box. You weren't affecting the game in the first half. He gets in front of his man, and I need to watch it back. I've only had one that looked like a bit of a mishit, to be honest. Kind of gets some hang time and sort of flies up into the far corner past Johnston. But Sessegnon gets the goal sort of 6 minutes into the second half, and like I said, I don't know if it's Villa's defensive shape down the sides was a little bit disruptive by the substitution, but Sessegnon certainly started the second half better and got the better of Tuanzebe a couple of times and gets the goal again. I don't know how many he's scored, loads. And also interesting to see that he's been moved forward and he's getting those goals. He's a very good player. Sessegnon, so we move on. Jedinak takes a yellow. I didn't see this. The ball got cleared. He obviously put something late on Kearney. Snodgrass in off the right on 64. Nifty feet, weak shot. Johansson with what looked like a little bit of a naughty one on Anoma, kind of chasing back. He takes a yellow as well. Now, Steve Bruce, aggressive management this. He makes a play on 66. He takes Jedinak out, which surprised me because I thought he was a very important figure in the first half. But he goes for it. He puts Graben in. So it's a straight 4-4-2 now. You're taking a defensive midfielder out and sticking Graben in up front. So 4-4-2. I said at the time, right, that guarantees either Villa are going to push and get the equaliser or they're going to be open and Fulham are going to get the second. Snodgrass robbed. Fulham are 4-on-2, but Aite chooses the wrong pass. Mitrovic is really clear there. You can see now Villa don't have that insurance policy just behind their midfield, so, and that was the first example of that. And then on 71, an amazing goal. I haven't seen one like this all season. So, bit of a controversial free kick awarded to Fulham in the right-back area. Villa move their back four up and Johnston goes out of his penalty box to take the free kick. He mishits the free kick and it goes across the pitch diagonally where Aite receives it. He controls the ball. He's in and around, I don't know exactly where he was. I've only seen it once in real time. The kind of centre circle. He takes a touch and he has a think about it. He's got the open goal. Obviously in training this would be easier for a pro footballer, but in a game with defenders and an audience there as well, he takes the touch, he floats the ball all the way in, the crowd goes silent and it flies into the back of the net. Embarrassing for Johnston. Obviously great play for Aite to score from nearly the halfway line, and it's 2-0, so very annoying, obviously, if you're a Villa fan because it's come from a mistake. But you've now gone for it, and it has gone the other way. And before your new substitute had a chance to affect the game, a bit of a cock-up has resulted in the second Fulham goal. And from this moment on, Fulham were very, very good. They're that type of team. Immediate kind of counter-attack, and Mitrovic has a chance straight at the keeper. On 73, a triple chance. Fredericks again down the right. First one gets blocked. It's a good save from Johnston. I know I've said before on these blocks, doesn't work like that, but he kind of covers his mistake a little bit, but the mistake has happened by now. And then Aite heads over a pretty close range header, you know, sort of 6-yard box. Could have been 3-0 there. Snodgrass goes down the right on 77, chips it in. Hogan with the half volley puts it over. Camara, who I'm not a fan of after the Ipswich game, comes in for Mitrovic. Sessegnon goes down the left again. Early cross for Camara. Tries to do some kind of weird step over type finish. It was a good chance that would have been his first touch immediately after he goes on, and he ends up in the advert boards behind the goal. Aite with the through ball, and McDonald, the defensive midfielder, has got forward. Fulham are really at it now. He's the furthest forward, gets the touch but can't finish it. Piazon comes in for Aite just to shore up the midfield a bit on 86. Davis in for Snodgrass for Villa. Fredericks, great skill. He had a great second half, Fredericks. On Bjarnason, puts the cross in, and Sessegnon blasts it over again. He's got in from the other side and got forward. Camera in the channel brings it inside. Low drive. Johnston kind of spills it, but nobody's following in. So, good win for Fulham. And when you looked at the game today, you'd say, oh, if Villa won, they're, you know, pushing for that automatic. They're in second. I don't know whether they're still there. I haven't checked the result. But with Fulham getting the win, that's actually closed up the gap. And Fulham, well, if you'd have said to them playoffs a couple of months ago, they would have taken that. But they might now be looking at top 2. Really good win for them. The story of the game, like I was going to say before I interrupted myself, which is very clever, was that in the first half I thought Villa was shading it. It was kind of team shape against football type thing, and it looked like it was playing into Villa's hands. Ineffective Fulham down the sides, and Kenny and Johansson not able to play through this kind of experienced, well-drilled team. You know, Villa have got a lot of sort of Premier League players, and a very stiff system, very good team shape, I thought. But into the second half, Fulham were really good, and Sessegnon got into the game. He got that goal, and Fredericks as well down the other side was really good. And you won't see a better player when Fulham are winning than Kearney. I'd be interested to see in a horrible tight 0-0 how he affects the game, but once it gets stretched, they really did look good. And I would say from from the moment the second goal goes in, Fulham really on top. In terms of star players, strangely, I thought it was Jedinak for Villa in the first half. Looked really kind of marshal in the midfield and the important guy. But he was taken off, so I'm struggling for a Villa one. For Fulham, I've got to say, Fredericks, every time I see Fulham play, Fredericks seems to have a good game. And as that extra man bombing forward, I don't know whether it was that Anoma didn't deal with him as well as maybe Snodgrass did in the first half, or whether it was just Fulham were at it a bit more and he had a bit more space in the second half. But I would say Fredericks 3 or 4 times got behind, obviously got the assist for the first goal, and he could have had another assist as well, and a brilliant bit of skill on Bjarnas in about 5 minutes from him. So I'll go for Fredericks. Be interested to hear from both sets of supporters. Villa fans, is this a one-off? Can you push on and still get past sort of Derby and Cardiff chasing? Villa look similar-ish to Derby in that they've got some very kind of strong, experienced players. Did you miss a Doma, and can you make it there in second place and miss out on those playoffs and go straight up? For Fulham, are you now able to push for that top 2, or is it going to be playoffs for you? And the question I've got to ask is, can you survive a horrible, tense playoff game? Fulham, they look absolutely brilliant when they're winning, and they look really good today. Can they do it over 2 games in the playoffs, or can they continue this run and get through? And just how good is Sessegnon? Every game he seems to score or assist now. Right, let me know what you think in the comments. Have I got it right? Fulham fans, Villa fans, be pleased to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to this channel. And tomorrow you're going to see me, it's Norwich v Ipswich, so I'm either going to be very down or very happy. But thank you very much for watching. Please get in touch and enjoy the channel. Give me a subscribe, and see you again tomorrow.